All right, kings and queens and everything in between. Welcome to a special video, a little special something that I thought of while looking at a video that pretty much breaks down the latest entry into the Borderlands franchise that takes place well after the events of Borderlands 3 and the next installment. This one is a Borderlands take, a 2K take on the Telltale series of Tales from the Borderlands. This is now the new Tales from the Borderlands, and I have to give criticisms. Now, I don't necessarily have to play it due to the in-depth details of how the whole story is played out, and everything in between. So the question I got is what's actually going on with the franchise at this point? Because ever since Borderlands 3, it seems as though that the direction of writing has soured exponentially. Like it went from Borderlands 1's story, right, where they are just getting started, right? Basically just getting started, obviously. So moving on to Borderlands 2. Sorry, I got sleepies in my eyes. I really just woke up. Then we move on to Borderlands 2, and we get what is considered absolutely flawless storytelling, flawless, seamless transitions to get to the story, to get to the bad guys, to know who the bad guys are. There's so much, right? There's too much, so much that you could do within it, and the narrative is written so well, and with the characters being written in so well. I want to say that your Vault Hunters do play a big role in what's going on. It feels like they're important. And then in pre-sequel, of course, no one likes to talk about pre-sequel because it didn't seem like it tried some new things, but it didn't quite pan out the way that they thought it should have. But let's just consider that maybe pre-sequel was more of a story to fill in for the stories for Borderlands 2. Right? It was the pre-sequel. The story told how Jack got into power and what happened to all the people that was a part of it, right? Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. Then we get to 3. And they try to do a good job, but it seems like though that they completely fell off and are trying to be now, trying to be in the now, trying to be so hip to today, trying to be more, culturally appropriate, talking about the brand widths and the streamers and everything like that. And it's like, all right. Like, I get it. It's happening in the world today, but really? That's how you gonna do it? Like, she couldn't just, like, Troy and Tyreen, there's nothing wrong with them. nothing wrong with Troy or Tyrene. It's just the way that they were pretty much portrayed leading up to the actual battle. It just seems like it could have been more. It could have been way more. It could have been much more story going on right there. They even had the opportunity to even divide the twins, right? Divide them, and then they come together at the end. They had a perfect opportunity, right? It's gone. There's just, it just felt kind of lifeless, like the writing was lifeless, and I don't want to talk about her. I don't want to talk about who.
Eva.
So she's gonna be left out. she's gonna be left out until the text over here tells
Eva.
me that I need to say her name, which her name will never be spoken, but you will see it right
just
there.
Eva.
I just don't want to talk about it. I don't. So we're going to move on and talk about what direction was Wonderlands going into, and it was a completely unique experience, right? It was a unique experience. The writing was there, like it was good writing. The story was there, and everything else in between was there. Oh, by the way, the Borderlands 3 DLC was a hit or miss. It was hit or miss. I loved the Wainwright, the Wainwright Hammerlock DLC, and I did not care for the Western one too much. I didn't care for that one too much, and the Revenge of the Cartels and all this extra stuff, all that other stuff. The Handsome Jackpot was good. I like the Handsome Jackpot. Telling a different story altogether, and I love it. Continuing on the story of Timothy Lawrence. And yeah, I enjoyed at least two out of the two of the DLC. But then we get to Wonderlands. Wonderlands was a fun little thing. Like I said, I like the story. I like the direction where it was going, but then it stops. Right, it stops. And what do I mean when I say it stops? I mean, once you beat the game, the main game, and do all the side quests, it stops. It stops being enjoyable. It stops being fun for anybody at this point. Like, there's nothing else to do. Like, you can go back and replay as a different creative person, but then you'll get the same results. So I see, like, that shows no point. There's no point in doing that. But even with all the extra DLC that they put into Wonderlands, still does not make me come back because I'm not progressing. I'm still stuck on level 40, and you still have chaos levels. You're up to chaos level 100. I am not kidding. And if you don't know what the chaos levels are the extremely difficult level after, the end game, right? End of the game, you go through the chaos level, and hopefully getting the different tier guns of the same guns that are already in the game, right? The same legendary guns that are in the game, but you're getting a different tier of that gun, which is primordial and Primordial and the other ones. That's how disinterested I am in getting those. I made it to Chaos level 20. I believe. Yeah, Chaos level 20. I stopped because what's the point in going further if I'm not going further myself? If my character is stuck on 40 and I get one shot, I'm not playing this game. I'm not playing this game. I'm not trying to play Dark Souls right now. I just want to play Borderlands, a Borderlands game, But we're going to talk about now. We're going to move on. Before I rant on Wonderlands any more than I need to, we're going to go to the latest release of new Tales of the Borderlands. Now, I don't want to spoil anything for those that are interested in playing the game. You're going to be very disappointed. And I'm going to tell you this. I'm gonna do it in a way that's spoiler free. You're going to be disappointed. But then I'm also going to spoil the whole narrative of everything, right? The whole showcase. And it's not even me. It is the writer that spoiled it. And I quote, "We're looking to make an interactive sitcom." So understand that there will never be any compelling moments within this game. There aren't. And the few in between that you get is going to be over saturated with zingers and one-liners and just comedy bits that you would see in a one-man show or an improv group, an improv troupe. But there's nothing wrong with those, right? There's nothing wrong with those because that's what they're supposed to do in that moment. When in new Tales from the Borderlands, there's no understand. There's no need for it all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean all the time. You're going to just hear the cringe. You're going to see the comedy all the time because it is an interactive sitcom. There is nothing to be had. See, at least in the first Tales from the Borderlands, when Telltales was going to do the story, and they did the story right, they did it justice by giving us emotion along with it. Like I'm going to point out one particular moment in Tales from the Borderlands, the first one. All right, Scooter's death. Scooter's death is a prime example. My cat playing in the freaking bathtub because that's his thing now. Borderlands, like when Scooter died, Scooter being a recognizable figure in the Borderlands franchise. He's the ones that gets you. He's the one that says catch a ride. He is the lovable goof of the series, and then to see him die just more, and then when the robot was seemingly dead, when the robot sacrificed himself on the ship so Reese can escape, freaking, and then with the song to go with it, oh my gosh, that was just too perfect. That was just too good of an emotion. It was an emotional roller coaster. I don't get that with new Tales of the Borderlands. I don't get that with this new entry because it seems like writing a sitcom was much more important than pulling your audience in and keeping them invested, keeping them interested, keeping them caring about the characters that are actually in the dang on game. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's just like, oh man, there's so many flaws. Character wise, especially your main characters. Whoo! I don't want to spoil it any more than I have to. But might I suggest that you watch this YouTuber that breaks down this a travesty to the Borderlands franchise. This travesty, this forgotten, this soon to be forgotten tragedy. This atrocious BS. Like, you cannot tell me that you thought this was a good idea to put out there and sell for the price that you're selling it for. You don't think that you ain't think this through. Let me calm myself down before I get even more mad. But the YouTuber that you need to check out is Eruption Fang. He goes into details on the Borderlands series. He has plenty of videos that studies the lore of the Borderlands, of the whole Borderlands franchise altogether. One of the main reasons that I continuously do videos on the Borderlands series, that I will continuously start to keep doing, right, until Borderlands 4 comes out, which it's another interesting video that I can do. What do you think? What do you kings and queens think? Should I do another Borderlands video, or should I focus on wrestling again, or another video game franchise that needs a little bit of a reboot? I can think of a few, but there's one that comes into mind that I wish would come back, but the licensing and everything like that is going to be a little bit of a tricky slow. But I'm just hoping that it's in the making and in the works, and then it comes out on the PS5, and then we can just all have a wonderful time with a little bit of fisticuffs all over the place. But anyway, kings and queens and everything in between, I'm going to put the YouTube channel, Eruption Fang's YouTube channel, in the description box below, so y'all can go check out his latest video on the latest Borderlands game, and you decide for yourself. You decide for yourself whether or not you would want to waste your money on this game, or do you think that it will be an interesting game? Because when I say that the breakdown opened my eyes to to the fuckery, it literally opened my eyes. Like, really, like how down south from 3 onward the writing has gotten. But I'm just gonna end the video right there. I was standing all the way over here the whole time, but I don't care anymore. I don't care. So what we're gonna do is just cut the video right here. Kings and queens and everything in between, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video, possibly on my stream.